TVC News studio on Anambra votes ahead of Anambra State's governorship election tomorrow, Saturday, the 18th of November. And we, of course, will coming to you from our studios here in Awka, the capital city of Anambra State. Well, preparations are in top gear ahead of tomorrow's election from INEC, the security, and all other stakeholders that are involved in this process to ensure that the whole election is conducted in a free and fair atmosphere and that the outcome will be credible. Well, INEC, of course, as we have expressed their readiness ahead of that elections tomorrow, and our senior correspondent, Lijadu, gives us this report.
It was a beehive of activities at the Anambra State office of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Policemen were spotted securing the INEC office as they patrolled ready to pounce guard dogs. Speaking with TVC News, the head of Department of Voter Education and Publicity, Leo Nkedife, affirmed that INEC is ready for Saturday's election.
I will give us 99.0%. In other words, we are ready. We are ready for the job.
He added that 6,000 card readers have been deployed to the 5,339 voting units in the state with enough technical support to ensure each free poll. In less than 24 hours, residents of Anambra State will go to their various polling units to pick their next governor. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, here in Anambra State says it is ready to conduct a free and fair election using card readers. Unlike other elections, INEC says there will be no use of incident forms in areas where card readers fail.
Well, the card readers are going to be used in all the polling units. And like I told you before, we've worked so much on the card readers that they are now working perfectly well. In addition to that, we have our backup technical staff. In case of any hitches, they are readily available to rectify any hitch, so we don't envisage any problem with the card readers. We've even gone ahead to provide methylated spirit to clean people's fingerprints to make sure that the card readers captures everyone. So we don't envisage any problem with the card reader.
Assessing the level of security at the INEC office, DIG Abila Joshak revealed that an additional 21,000 trained police officers were deployed to join existing officers in the state in order to prevent a breakdown of law and order.
We're just taking an assessment to see whether there's a need for us to increase the number. We're going to do a few adjustments, but we won't be able to get it right inside there until the materials have been fully escorted. You could see the police officers that were seated down there. They're just waiting for materials to be given to whoever wants to have them, and thereafter they will escort to the registration area council and special super acts. And so you can see that here is one of the most important places.
INEC is confident that Anambra State will witness a free and fair poll come Saturday, the 18th of November. Lijadu, TVC News, Awka.
All right, there you have it, Lijadu's report there on the preparedness of INEC. And Lijadu is also here with me to give us her first-hand information on what she saw out there at INEC office and, of course, also on the streets of Awka, the capital city of Anambra State. Now, one very interesting thing is INEC saying there will be no incident form. People are asking, how would you carry out an election? Because, looking at Nigeria's democratic history, especially when we had the electoral reforms, when the incident form issue was introduced, where maybe your name is not on the register, or maybe the card reader cannot identify your fingerprint, then you are asked to fill an incident form. What are they saying? How would they carry out an election without the incident form? Well,
from my interaction with INEC officials today, they are kind of very confident in the fact that the card readers would work, and they've deployed 6,000, 5,339 would go to the various polling units, and an extra, I think about 600, over 600 would be like a reserve. So in areas where your card reader fails to work, they can reach out for a reserve. Now, incidentally, they said they've also pulled out, you know, it's not an election year, so INEC officials really don't have their hands full across the country. So they've pulled out technical staff from across the country to be on ground. So when you have an issue with a card reader, the INEC officials I spoke to said, you can reach out to a technical staff who would, you know, sort out whatever issues you have. So there would be no need for an incident form. When I went for that to ask, what in cases where, you know, you've tried everything and, you know, all else fails, then they said they have to come back tomorrow to vote in units like that where, you know, they've tried everything and it doesn't work out.
Well, that's quite interesting now. But what other thing did you find out? So we've heard from observers now telling us about INEC preparedness. Now, from your own journalistic point of view, how would you rate INEC's preparedness, looking at from what they've had during the stakeholders meeting, what they told the public about their level of preparedness, and to what you saw on ground?
You know, a lot of times, you know, during election coverage, before pre-election, INEC tells you, you know, they are, you know, prepared, they are ready, they are, you know, set to take on the task. But when you get on the field, most times you realize that, you know, the situations are different. You realize that they really do not pass the test, you know, of the readiness that they talked about. But of course, we will not know how prepared INEC is until we get to the field tomorrow.
Of course.
They are set, you know, they are ready. They've scored themselves 99.9%.
Yeah, but tomorrow, of course, we would determine if truly INEC is ready.
Yeah,
yes, well, thank you very much, Senior Correspondent Lijadu.